The streets. I'll be in New York with the gangsters. So a nigga that'll shoot you for a tandem. If mobs just chillin' in the floor.
Yo, what up, YouTube fans, YouTube Live. Let's do this. Re-Day, celebrating Rejuvenator's 10-year anniversary. SneakerCon fans, we miss you. We out here, straight, live and direct from Queens, New York. So I had to start it off. Rest in peace, my guy, Pop Smoke. I had to start it off with that New York flavor. And thank you, Pop Smoke, for dropping that fire on this summer, man. Because as everybody who's watching knows, we definitely needed some good music, man. So I just want to say, the guys with Rejuvenator have been rocking with us for 7 or 8 years now. So when they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary, you already know SneakerCon's gonna be in the building, and I hope that you guys enjoy the content that we're gonna put together for you guys right now. Just make sure you enter that giveaway on the posts on IG, because right after this, they're gonna do a drawing for the giveaway for the Vic Almighty Customs. Shout out to my guy Vic Almighty. You already know, back in the days, Ace of Customs. If you know, you know. And yeah, man, let's get right into it. We're gonna start off this with a brand new segment, something we haven't done before, and it is called Legit Checking Mythbusters. So there's a lot of people out there thinking they know how to legit check, thinking that they know what they're talking about, and they're taking one real pair that they got for retail, and then they're getting other pairs in the mail, or their friend gets a pair, and they're comparing them side by side and trying to look for differences, and then telling their friends that their pair is fake, or making a video, putting it out to people. Just because somebody's teaching it, guys, doesn't mean it's valid. So make sure you know the information that you're getting. Make sure you fact check, because there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of bad, legit tips being told. So we're gonna break some of those myths, and we're gonna teach you guys some legit checking tips, and hopefully you guys learn something and enjoy. So with that being said, lights off. So, Legit Check Mythbusters 101. You guys might be wondering, why is this guy shooting this in the dark? Well, because myth number 1 is one of the most important ones right now, and it involves this tool right here, the black light. Many authenticators are using this tool, and it is a great tool. You can look for a lot of detailing and tell the difference between real and fake if you know what you're looking for, but most people don't. So what is the myth? You've heard it before. So here's an example of the first comment. Utilizing the Nike Dunk Low St. John's, which a lot of people right now are shining the black light on it to see if the red leather is glowing or not. They're doing the same thing for the Syracuse Dunks and things like that. But that's false. Across real pairs, retail releases, here we have 2 of them. And we're gonna show you 2 identical size 9 US released St. John's Dunks and show you the difference. So on this first pair, as you can see, I'm shining the black light, and none of the areas of the red leather are glowing. You might not even know what you're looking for because they're not glowing. You might be like, hey, they are glowing. But now let me show you the second pair. And now you're gonna get to see, when you shine this black light, you see that back heel panel of leather all glowing like orange. And then as we go across the laces, you see that one side of the lace inlets doesn't glow, the other side glows. Now we've seen hundreds of these pairs. And the fact of the matter is that we've seen a pair where one glows and one doesn't. And now I'm showing you a pair where parts of it glows, parts of it doesn't. And then I'm showing you one pair that pretty much doesn't glow at all. So as you can see, across authentic pairs of these Dunks, some glow, some don't. And why does that happen? Because the fact of the matter is that when these factories are painting the leather, it's very similar to what Vic Almighty will do when he's restoring a shoe. They paint it, they coat it, they paint it, they coat it. And this is done with machines, of course, but if they miss that coating, if they miss the coated part, it's invisible. It's an invisible coating, and they might miss it on a panel, and that might cause it to glow or not glow. It might be as simple as that. So now let's get into this Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the black non-reflective colorway. We have a real pair, we have a fake pair. And the fact of the matter is that both of the boosts glow. So let me show you guys. What you should be looking for is not whether it glows or not. It's about the pattern. It's about the consistency of the boost. Boost is a bunch of pellets that are fused together and then they coat it. But with the Adidas, the real boost, the pellets are all over the place. It's a very organic fusion. Whereas on the fakes, as you can see here, they're very perfectly cracked and the pattern is very even and evenly spread. So when you're looking at this, guys, make sure you're looking at the actual pellets and how they're formed together. Don't just look for it to glow, because the fake pairs glow as well. How do we actually use a black light? What should we be using a black light for? So let me show you. If you shine a black light on the box of a Yeezy and some other boxes as well, you're looking for markings. You're looking for markings that shouldn't be there, markings that Nike, Adidas, the real manufacturers are not putting on their labels. So as you can see, I'm shining this on this Yeezy Boost box, shining it. This is the authentic box. And as you can see, the label, the box is clear of any markings, of any black light stamps or anything like that. And if you could notice, the paper kind of glows in a reddish tint. That's because that paper is also a special type of paper. Now, let's look at the fake pair. Let's shine the black light on this fake pair. And what do you see on the box? Right away, you see this marking, this stamp. It stands out. You know it shouldn't be there. And then you look at the paper they use, and you're getting this very blue reflection, almost like you're shining it on computer paper or loose leaf. Very bright reflection. And the fact of the matter is that that's not the paper that Adidas is using on their labels. So two things: the color of the reflection on the paper, as well as look for markings, look for stamps. Now that goes into myth number 2. Right now, one of the most sought after shoes is the Travis Scott Jordan 1s, the highs and the lows. So people are shining it on these pairs, and they think the authentic pairs all come with smudges along the midsole. These invisible smudges, it looks like fingerprints. Maybe the factory workers had something on their hands that when they were grabbing the soles of the shoes, it was getting on there. So you do see it on a lot of authentic pairs. However, people have been shining black lights, and if they don't see any smudges, they're saying the pair is fake. That's false. There are real pairs that don't have any smudges. And there are fake pairs now that are purposely getting smudges put on them. So let me just show you guys this authentic pair of Travis Scott highs. This is my personal pair I hit on Nike Sneakers app. So check this out. Notice how you're shining it, and for the most part, there is no smudging on the midsole. And I can attest this pair came straight from Nike Sneakers app. There's absolutely no markings. And now I'm gonna show you the low top version, and as you can see, smudges. And look at that midsole, look how it glows, and look at those smudges. And you can clearly see the smudges. Now, let's look at the fake pairs. First, the fake pair of Travis Scott highs. I got 2 different fake pairs. Here I'm shining black light, and you can see smudges. Then the next pair, very little, probably no smudges. And it's very clear. Real pairs and fake pairs both have smudges. This myth is not real, guys. Do not just think that the pair is fake because it doesn't have smudges. And don't just think it's real because it has smudges. So, How can you use this black light as a tool on, let's say, the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s? Check out this low cut version. Check out this authentic pair. Shine it all over the uppers. And you shouldn't see much reflecting at all. It's pretty dead all over the upper. And now let's go on to the fake pairs. And as you see, shining it on the uppers, and you can clearly see markings. You see these dotted lines. These are guidelines. Because these are not being made with the same molds and the same tooling in the factories that Nike's producing it in, and they're sewing up these shoes together, and they're using these guidelines to help them be able to tell where they need to have the placement. And that's why sometimes the placement is even better on some of the fake pairs than the real pairs. Where do the authentic manufacturers make mistakes? The glue marks, the placement of certain panels, and stitching. Those are the most common mistakes. Use this black light to look for markings that shouldn't be there. Don't just use it to see if certain areas glow, because that's not always valid. Tools are great, but don't use them as a crutch. So what's the next legit checking myth? It's one of the old ones, and what people don't realize is as the brands produce more and more pairs, millions of pairs at this point, you're gonna have a longer production period with different dates. Some releases have 4 or 5 different dates on real pairs. So I'm gonna show you right now 2 authentic pairs of the Air Jordan 5 top 3s that recently released, and I'm gonna show you how 2 real pairs from retailers have different production dates. So this first pair clearly shows a date of October 16th, 2019 and January 13th, 2020. So there's one. Now, when you look at the second pair, which is another pair from a retailer, 100% authentic, and now this pair has the same beginning production date of October 16th, 2019, but the second date that it shows is February 11th, 2020. So here's 2 variations on production dates, same release, same shoe, both authentic. And the last myth has to do with placement. And the last myth that I'm about to bust out for you guys is placement. When you guys are holding 2 pairs side by side and trying to place every little panel, every little detailing to be exact, you're gonna be wrong 99% of the time because you're not considering quality control for the actual authentic pairs. If you check out 100 authentic pairs, you're gonna see variations of placement, different stitching mistakes, different glue marks across all the real pairs. You have to get a full sample size. The truth is that one thing is never gonna be the determining factor. So here's a clear example. I'm gonna show you guys on 2 authentic pairs of smoke grays, both size 8, both US releases, and I'm gonna measure 2 different parts of the shoe and show you guys how different the placement could be across 2 authentic pairs, so that you guys understand that if you guys are looking for placement errors, that's great, that's fine, but don't use it as the determining factor. Don't just come out and say a pair is fake because the swoosh is not exactly placed the same as your friend's pair or some video you saw. So here's 2 pairs of the smoke gray. Let's check out the first one, and let's check the inner medial part of the shoe, how high the swoosh is along that stitch line that crosses it. So if you measure this first pair, you see that we have a measurement of about 30.6 millimeters. Now, when you look at this second pair, you notice that the same area on the shoe is actually 28.74 millimeters. So almost 2 millimeters of placement margin of error differences between 2 authentic pairs. And that's just one area of the shoe. Now let's go to the common area that people look, which is the Wings logo. So now when you measure the Wings logo on the first pair from the left wing edge to the top, straight line to the top of the red leather panel, you get 12.79 millimeters. Now, when you're looking at the second pair, you can clearly see now that the same area, you get 14.71 millimeters. That's again about a 2 millimeter placement difference. And these are real pairs. This is not a reason to just say off the bat that something is fake. Now, a combination of these things, sure, it'll add up and then you'll be able to determine that the shoes are fake, but it's never one thing. Don't just measure one part of the shoe and think that it's fake. It's never one thing. Make sure you got a full set of data to prove your case. So you might be asking, what can you actually measure that could help you tell the difference between real and fake? And that thing is the weight. The fact of the matter is that fake factories are trying to save money, so they're using cheaper rubbers to create the same outsoles, the same midsoles. They're using cheaper, more dense and heavier, or cheaper and much lighter materials than the actual brands. So there you might have a significant difference in the weight of the shoe. Let's go back and check out the Jordan 1 Smoke Gray. And when we weigh it out, as you can see, the first pair weighs 14.5 ounces. 14.5 ounces. It's a size 8 US release. And now we weigh out the second pair. As you can see, these are both right feet. So there's two different pairs. And as you can see, the second pair weighs exactly 14.5 ounces. These pairs are made with the same materials. These pairs are identical. So as you can see, you can definitely use weight to try and tell the difference between real and fake. The fake manufacturers are using more dense, heavier rubbers on the midsoles and outsoles, or lighter, cheaper rubbers on the midsoles and outsoles. A lot of times that's where the weight difference comes in at. I hope you guys learn from this, and I hope you guys take this forward with you and stop questioning everything unless you know exactly what questions to ask. So that being said, let's get back to our regular programming. So I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of SneakerCon Legit Check Mythbusters. And let's move on to the next segment, which is a look back at SneakerCon in 2019. I want to start off with the top 3 moments of SneakerCon 2019. And with the third spot on that list is SneakerCon Cleveland! Cleveland at the Huntington Convention Center. Man, we just had to postpone it for a second time in 2020. This COVID-19, man, is really keeping us apart, guys. But hopefully, all you guys watching live right now are enjoying this feed, enjoying this stream, and enjoying just rocking, just vibing with us and some of the people that we typically have at our shows. So with that being said, to talk about SneakerCon Cleveland and a couple of the other events on the list, let's bring in my main man, 2J's Kicks. You guys already know what it is. Yo, Jay, what's poppin', brother?
Chilling, family. How you been? Long time
Good,
since
man.
I've seen you, man.
Bro, I can't believe you were in New York all this past week and you never came by to say what else. You were in Jersey, actually, but
I was in Jersey this whole time, but you know, I was really knee deep in sneakers, man. You know, it's been pretty wild.
You're doing something crazy, but yeah, I just shouted out SneakerCon Cleveland 2019 as the top 3, the third best top moment of SneakerCon events in 2019. And it's not that the other events weren't big. We did some big things in 2019, but that Cleveland show was super memorable, not because of all the energy that Cleveland always brings, but specifically because we had the honor to be featured in Jeff Goldblum's National Geographic Disney Plus show as episode 1. Like, the man featured sneaker culture as the first episode.
It was crazy, man. You know, that was also for me, that event is always going to be like I'll always remember that event for a multitude of reasons, right? Obviously, you know, that episode, SneakerCon got what, 8 minutes of shine?
Bro, that
And
that was
and
big. That was awesome, man.
and
Pinnacle type moment.
I was for, I mean, I know that TV makes everything look so short, but I really got 6 hours with Jeff, and
Yeah.
like I learned so much. I asked so much, right? And that was also the first time we did anything with American Eagle
Yep.
at an event, and it was just it was monumental, bro.
So let us get into the top two, number 2 on the list of top moments in 2019. And for us, that is the first event ever in China. It is SneakerCon Shanghai with Jeff Staple as our art and design direction. And we worked with him closely to design some pretty dope, artwork. Shout out to Cychrome, Ian Ball, our artist who drew a lot of the stuff, you know what I mean? These characters. And, it was the first time we really did something like to this magnitude of a collab. And then, obviously, I'll get into it later, some stuff that followed up later in the year, but that Staple collab, that event, a lot of people don't understand. Like, they see us dropping merch and this toy and stuff, and they think like, oh yeah, SneakerCon collabing with Staple, but
Nah, bro, but that killed. That sold out.
Yeah, and we collabed to design an event. Like, the collab wasn't this one toy, it wasn't the merch.
It was the whole thing.
It was an event, and for us, that was a first. And to us, it was really like a pinnacle moment as well that just brought us to new heights. That was in May of 2019. And you were doing some things. You were making some moves out there.
Man, I couldn't have been, like, I felt so lucky to see that in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I kept saying to people when I was calling back home, there was a time difference, but when we were making the phone calls and talking to people, it's like, yo, you don't understand. And it's like, they're like, okay, but explain it. And I'm like, what were the top 5 foot traffic venues in the States? And people would, give their opinions. And I'm like, all right, cool. Take all 5 of those venues, put all those people in there, and then multiply it by 2.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And then from an activation standpoint, like, there was brands that just did so much that, like, it was special, man. And you could tell that the whole country, like, people drove and flew from far and near to go there.
Crazy.
Like, I don't like it's kind of to put it into like, for people to understand, it was like some people, it was an event in Florida, and people flew in from Cali, and people flew in from New York, and people flew in from Canada,
Yep.
and people flew in from Mexico. Like, that's how big that event was. And I say this about every event. I go to every event not knowing if anybody's even going to want to talk to us, right? And I know you guys felt the same. And it was overwhelming. It was like there was, everywhere you look, somebody wanted to stop and ask questions and talk. And, like, I just loved how much the vendors loved, like, the culture.
Yep.
You could tell, because it wasn't just a shoe. It was like every possible known accessory in the history of accessory for the shoes.
It was incredible, man.
Yeah, no, and Jeff killed it. I got to see Jeff a little bit. I met his wife there.
Yeah.
Jeff is a legend, man. And for you guys to have that, like, it speaks to the body of work over the years. You guys have done a great job. It's been amazing.
For us, we're just never content. And, even if people have a great time, like, people had an amazing time in Cleveland. But then after that, we go to Shanghai, and we got to, we got to make the same impact or bigger. And that's always our goal, is just to outdo ourselves. For us, as the culture grows, we have to grow, but we got to keep pushing in order to grow. And that's how it is. That's how it is for anybody in this. Hold on, because I'm going to go back. I messed this whole thing up. I started talking about Shanghai, but in reality,
it was Guangzhou.
Number 2 moment is a tie between Shanghai and Osaka, Japan.
Japan was crazy too.
Bro, talk about not the same magnitude in terms of brands and commercialization.
But the love is
Pure,
just as strong. The
pure.
love is just as strong, if not stronger,
Just
in
the
Japan.
pure sneaker culture and resale culture, and the fashion, the way that the Japanese consumer and sneakerhead came out and dressed down.
Some of my favorite pickups happened in Osaka. 85 Dunk Lows. Remember, I got the midnight navy white, and then the yellow maize.
Crazy.
85 mint. Like it's like
Osaka with the Jabberwockies.
Yeah, their
Yeah,
culture's so different. Like it's
different
nothing but everything is done with the other person's and like their best intentions towards the other person before their very own, right? And you saw that all through Osaka.
Selfless community.
And again, like what I liked about Osaka, even though it was a smaller event, was the fact that it was a smaller event.
Yeah.
Because you know, for as much as I enjoy doing the bigger shows, because you get to see so many people, the downside is you don't, everybody has a sense of urgency because you're trying to do as much as you possibly can.
Yep.
Here, in Osaka, we had the opportunity to really like have good conversation. Yeah.
Just vibing.
I don't think we'll get this privilege again there. I think the next show is going to be like 3 times the size, knowing you guys and the support that you have.
Yeah, luckily, you know, we had some strong support. MGM came out strong with us. They brought out the Jabberwockies. Like I got to announce the Jabberwockies on stage. Like that was dope for me. And then we also on low key on the side just had Adidas there, like doing some dope customization. And those shoes are actually, we looked them up and they actually reselling those customs. It's crazy. It's a crazy.
No, it was dope. And then who was on the stage with? It was me, you, Tokyo Girl, right? Tokyo Girl, Japan.
Sneaker Girl.
Sneaker Girl, yeah. Sneaker Girl. We shared the stage. It was cool to see.
Me, you, and Dre. Me, you, and Dre was on the stage.
Me, you, and Dre were on stage, Croatian style. And it was cool to see. You know, like sometimes Spanish gets butchered when it gets translated from English to Spanish, right? And like the whole time I was talking, I'm like praying that what I was saying wasn't getting butchered, but everybody understood and clapped and said, so, you know, that was cool, man. Like, you know, that was one of my favorite YouTube videos too.
Live and the collections, what people had before Dunks. Now Dunks are back and with a vengeance, but that was November 2019. And there was some collectors out there that came out.
Yeah, bro, I bought a Supreme basketball there. Remember?
Yeah.
I bought the Supreme basketball, and then I'm like, how the heck do I get this home?
Crazy. But so that was a tie. I say Shanghai and Osaka, that was a tie. You can't separate it. And I gotta leave Cleveland in there.
Right.
But you already know what the number one moment was. And you were there for that one too. So I'm gonna end our segment by announcing the number one SneakerCon moment in 2019, which to us was the last event of the year in China once again, Guangzhou, with my man Stephen Harrington as the art director. I mean, we had these guys 8 feet tall standing all over the event, and we took whatever we did in Shanghai and we just like quadrupled it.
Yeah. I didn't have enough suitcases to bring stuff back. Number one. Those 8 foot tall Harrington dolls, dude, like, holy cow, the execution was insane. Soul Stage's activation, like, they did a vault. Like, it was like the stage. Who did you guys have on the stage? You had Alan there. You had like the biggest influence, the biggest tennis player in all of China there. That's a Nike.
Yeah, the first Jordan athlete was Guo.
X-Tep was there. Like, bro, you had, it was, that was a whole nother movie. That was a movie, bro. That was a movie, bro. There wasn't any room in there.
I'm still in
There,
awe. I'm still
there
in
wasn't any. There wasn't any room in like that was the biggest venue I have ever seen at a SneakerCon. Now, mind you, I haven't missed one now. 6 years.
Yeah.
I haven't missed one. I think the only one I missed was Atlanta like 5-6 years ago because it was during my first year anniversary. So it's 5 years ago. I haven't missed one in 5 years. I've never seen a venue that big, that packed for that long.
Crazy.
Like
2 days.
it was elbow to elbow, pre-quarantine vibes, which was really dope. Like we live a very privileged life, man. We get to see a lot of cool stuff and meet some great people, not only in our neck of the woods, but all over the world. And SneakerCon has had, that's just 3, but man, you guys had literally millions of special moments last year that deserve the shine too. So.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for joining me. I just got a crazy idea. Once we get off, I'm about to call Stephen Harrington, bro. We're going to talk about Guangzhou. We're going to talk about what we did together out there. So I'll definitely make sure to give him your regards.
Yeah, please do. Send him my love, man. You know I'm a big fan, and he's a great guy. And if you guys aren't following Steve by now, man, you should. This guy is next level, and he's an even more beautiful person.
Word.
Humble, like this guy's humble level is like off the charts, man. Like great dude, and his art is amazing, man. So give him a follow, and Will, thank you to you, and I, send my love to the rest of the SneakerCon family.
Sure.
I got people on special missions, that if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to pull off the mayor stuff, man. So thank you, bro. Thank you.
My guy got your stuff out there safely, bro.
Yeah, I know. He's a machine.
Man. Yo, I'm going to jump off this. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to call Steven, and I'm going to see what's up. Yo, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed. Jay's always on the live, so I definitely had to bring him on our live because he's at every show, so he needs to be on every stream.
No,
Jay,
thank you, brother. Much love, man.
I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Say less.
I got to hit up Stephen Harrington, bro. We got to chop it up about this Guangzhou event. So without further ado, let me bring on Steve.
What's up, dog? How's it going?
Good. Finally, we were able to get this going.
Yeah.
Two non-techie guys trying to figure it out.
I know. What the hell?
Oh, man, how's everything, though?
Good, man. I see you got that little cause down there. You got the other pieces here.
Yeah, I got a couple little things, trying to just, create a little set, show people some stuff. In December, we were at what to me right now is the #1 sneaker moment in 2019. To me, that was like 11 years of us doing events all over the world, starting from a hallway in a comedy club in Times Square to then doing 20,000 people in the southern China in Guangzhou. So just jump right into it, man. That was an amazing time.
I mean, it was incredible, man. I gotta say, when I think back and I look at kind of what we had done and accomplished and all the folks we met and the energy that was there, I mean, I gotta say that it's one of the most exciting events that I've just been a part of, just period.
The energy, just the pure energy in that building.
Yeah, it was just, man, exciting, very exciting. Very cool. I'm kind of still riding off a lot of that energy, to be honest with you.
Man, we went right into 2020 with that vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So for us, it was a really, really special opportunity to work together with you as our art director and us just like melding our styles, right? Like 2 very illustrative styles and meshing it together. And like we created some really dope stuff.
Oh yeah, we created some great stuff, man. And I actually have, some of the original. I pulled the original sketch right here.
The OG sketch of the print.
Yeah, that's the OG.
A lot of people at that China event got to walk away with one of those prints, and they were pretty limited. And we were happy to just keep it very, very small in number, just to keep it very special for the people that walked away.
Yep. So we came out with a lot of really great work, and I think a really cool bunch of work to add to kind of the archive of where we've been and what we've done. Yeah.
Amazing. One of my favorite pieces from the merch collection was actually this long sleeve, right?
Oh, nice.
In the front, it's just this really clean, white SneakerCon.
Yeah.
On the back, you turned Mello into.
Oh yeah. Sneaker, there he is. He's in the flesh. Yeah,
For all of you watching right now live, you guys, if you know Stephen Harrington, you know Mello, this cool dog right here. And he's even holding like the off-white ones, you know what I mean? And just the way you were able to mesh sneaker culture with your style, it was like a perfect marriage, a perfect mesh.
Thank you. Well, you know, like I've always loved the culture, and I've loved you know, the energy that's put into the culture. And, you know, it was never really the right timing, you know, to, you know, kind of fan out and put my art together. Really, I never really found the quite the right moment to do that. And this was just really nice because it kind of made all of the work that I made for that show official within the context of kind of sneaker culture and working with you guys too, you know, so it's really exciting.
And then talk to the people about introducing this guy right here.
Yep. I got mine over here too.
I mean, when you showed us this character, and we're like, man, I'm gonna debut this at your event. I was mind blown, and just the way we got to collaborate to like make him. Remember I called him the What the Sneaker Cat?
Exactly. I was just talking to a friend about that just the other day. And you know, it's interesting because he's such this special, unique character, and I've been trying to bring him into work, but it's this really funny thing because I feel like he was so unique to that event. I'm trying to keep him really special and reserved for kind of the right moments of how he comes out and jumps into things, if that makes sense.
I think that's the right way to approach it. Cause I mean, you know, Mello's your guy, you know, that's your guy, and he's going to keep riding, and he's going to just keep growing with you. But this guy right here, like, you'll just pop him out, you know. That's a different vibe. It's definitely a different vibe. But this character was awesome, and we took him all around Guangzhou. I'm showing the footage of just when he was walking around, and you know, just him at the event, people taking photos next to him, and we had the tall figures everywhere.
We have, and then we kind of had him interacting with within the actual artwork itself.
Yeah, that was great, and
was
you know, the way you brought all those characters together, and then included like the SneakerCon just illustrated logo. You know, it just all was a nice fit, a really nice fit.
Thank you. I'm still really excited about it, you know, and really, you know, just I feel like even this new phase of seeing how you guys have been kind of putting out content has been really cool, and just really excited to kind of link with you even right now and just see what's up and kind of what
and I know the fans watching right now really appreciate you, you know, joining this day that you know, our guys at Rejuvenator put together this full day, but you know, they've given us the platform to bring some of the energy that we had all throughout last year at SneakerCon, and just kind of remind them and give them that flashback, let them reminisce with us.
And I just want to say thank you too to all the fans and everybody that's you know, just really interested and a fan of the culture for just kind of tuning in right now. It's really exciting to be with you all live and just talking through this. Super exciting.
For sure. You know what was one of my favorite moments?
Yeah, what's that?
You signed like probably over 300-400 autographs.
Oh yeah.
2 days span. And I actually kept this bag. This was the B grade, the Bosch autograph. So you were trying to write for you or for the guy's name, and his name was actually you.
Oh, and
you wrote YOU, and oh man, he was dying laughing. He had a great time with it, and I actually kept that bag.
That's super dope.
Yeah, it's part of the collection.
Super great.
Yeah, man. So, you know, thank you for reminiscing with me on Guangzhou, our top moment last year. And man, I just hope to work with you more and do more events and be out there live with the crowd, because that audience, right? Remember when we were on stage and we were like, SneakerCon! Yeah. It was just everywhere. It was like this ocean.
Yeah, that's on my IG. That's gotta will forever be on my IG. I mean, what a crazy moment, man. I got back home and everybody back home was like, yo, what was that? I mean, they're familiar with the event, but it was like, that was just insane. You know, the level of energy and stuff you guys brought and that we brought to that was just incredible.
So I also want to thank, anybody watching, but just in general, the fans from China, because they've been rocking with us. And that event was proof of it. And we're going to do a lot more out there and all over the world.
Yeah.
We got a big 2021 coming.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know you probably have so many projects you can't even talk about right now, so I'm not even gonna ask you. Ask you, bro.
And you know, the one thing I will say is, like that area of the world right now is just I'll kind of follow what you just said. Thank you, everyone out there and the rest of the world, for the support. But
congrats on the Korea thing. The Korea
thank you.
The outdoor sculpture.
The permanent piece. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And, congrats to, I know the plans that you guys have in store, and man, what's in your back pockets of, what was to be hitting at the beginning of this year. I know that's still back there, and it's heat.
People don't even know.
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
But it's gonna catch up, when everything cools down, we'll come back. We miss the people. We really do, because like we just globetrot, man, and meet up with the sneaker culture and everywhere around the world, all over the US. And like we really just miss our attendees, our fans, our community that comes out. And we'll be back, man. And we're gonna bring you with us, Steve.
Awesome. I'm right there with you guys. And I'm really excited to be a part of anything that you guys do. So super. Sure. I'll be here, man. I'll be here with Sneaker Cat, man.
Oh man.
We'll just be lounging out, putting plans together, putting our master plan together.
For sure. All right, man. You have a good one and be safe out there, and can't wait to link up.
Thank you. Thank you to you guys, and thank you to everybody watching and being a part of this conversation.
For sure. And I hope you guys watching right now enjoyed it. And now on to the next piece.
Awesome. Peace.
Later, Steve. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Steve, once again, thank you for joining us on this live event. Thank you for blessing these fans with your presence, with your engagement. I know many of you had seen the work over the past few years, the illustrations, the figurines, and all the work he's been putting in, but now you can put a face to the name. So without further ado, let's bring in our last segment for this Sneaker Conversations panel. Reselling during an epidemic. Let me bring those dudes in and let's talk about reselling. What up? My dudes, live and direct. I got over here. I already introduced them, but Hayden, Unique Sneak, say what up to the fans.
Yo, what's good, y'all? How are y'all?
Where you hailing from right now?
Bristol, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's Bristol, baby.
And then my guy, Jay Collector from Restock Chicago. What up?
What's going on, man? How's everything?
Not much, man. As you see, just keeping it moving, keeping it rolling. And
Yes, sir.
Eric, you know him as PRX from Band LA. Good, E.
What's up, everybody? Damn, look at Jay's closet, man. Look at that.
That's Jay Collector, man. What you
Wow.
Yo, it's not as bad as it looks, bro.
No, that's only the corner.
Not as bad as it looks, huh?
That's only like the corner of his room.
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta see the whole thing, bro. It's getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous now.
Sure. Reselling during an epidemic, man. How did things switch up for you? Let's go to Jay Collector, because you guys own Restock Chicago. That's a store, assignment shop. You guys do buyouts and all of that, and selling from. Just shout out the mall where you guys are at in Chicago.
We're in Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. We've been there for about 3 years already.
Yeah. So what happened when it all went down? Like once the lockdown came, stay-at-home orders, what happened with the shop?
Man, to be honest with you, it was one of those where we really didn't think it was gonna get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last thing that we actually thought was gonna happen, and one day to another, they were like, "Hey, we're closing down," and get whatever you can out. In other words, so it was that already was a slow month to begin with.
Yep.
So I was like, man, this is gonna get bad. But believe it or not, with everything going on, everybody getting extra money from unemployment and everything, honestly, the sales went crazy, bro, which is
We'll talk about the digital business, because
it's
for us with the SneakerCon app and marketplace, like things have really boomed, and it's all because shops like yours have been closed down. People can't go to the local consignment shops to sell easy, and they got to be selling from home. So then that goes to Eric. You run Band LA, start a Facebook group, brand. So tell us a little bit about what you've been seeing on the message boards. In Band LA, you guys have a lot of people listening, a lot of people talking. So what have you seen?
Well, the funny thing is that we signed our lease on Melrose, because we're opening up a store, right?
Yeah. Congrats.
We signed the lease, and 1 week later they announced COVID. So like all the construction that we were supposed to do and like all that just got delayed like a couple months, I think. Like in between the span, like people just trying to get their thoughts together, I think, man. Because like I don't think people realized, I don't want to assume this, but I think that people didn't realize how serious it was going to get, like after the lockdown.
Yep.
And yeah, that happened. So like it kind of delayed that. But the funny part is about like reselling is that I bought 100 pairs of Kentuckys and 100 pairs of Syracuse at that time. And my partner at the time was tripping. He was like, dude, they're going under what we bought it for in this bulk. Just sell all of them off, blah, blah, blah. I was like, let's just be patient for 1 month.
Those are hot, man.
I was like, I know they're going to go up. Like, what was the point of buying it if we're going to be scared of it going down a little bit, Like, I mean, it's just supply and demand, in my opinion. Like, and there was not a lot of supply in the U.S. of that. Like, it wasn't like a big drop where everybody got it,
No, not at all. We don't even see like that high volume coming through the app. It's like,
so, I mean, I even sold pairs to JC, like, for basically what I got it for, just to get rid of some. And I kept like half, like 100. And I kept them till like this day for the store. And they're like at $500 now.
Yeah, and then
they're only gonna go up too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The St. John's pair is the cleanest though.
The St. John's is like a Chicago, it's like,
yeah, that's the best pair for sure.
But Hayden, let's go to you. You've had a journey. When COVID started, you were in New York, coming by our warehouse all the time, going and dropping off at all the local consignment shops. Shout out to all of them. And now what?
Yeah, so middle of COVID or beginning of COVID happens, and I'd been in New York for almost a year, and my lease was about to end. And pretty much my landlord's like, yo, like you can sign another year contract or you can move out. And due to COVID, consignment drop off is completely paused. Some places aren't even allowing shipping. So it was just a really big mess. And due to COVID as well, like real estate was kind of shut down. So I couldn't even find a place. So I was like, I'd already outgrown my apartment in New York. So I was like, I need to go buy a place because I got enough bread to do that. So I was like, I'm going to go back to Tennessee and Bristol and buy a crib there. So I bought a crib there. And
congrats, bro.
Thank you.
Reseller house.
Yeah, it's like that, Hayden.
I don't have my personal collection at the office.
You making that much bank now or what?
Nah, Hayden's moving some things.
Yeah,
this
so
guy.
Then part of the reason I moved too is because one of my good friends that's been helping me since 2016, 2017, I needed some like extra hands. So I had to hire him as my first employee as well. So I got him working for me full time, living here. This is literally like the resale house.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You definitely got to film more content of that.
Something coming.
So how has it affected buying? Like, have your channels, your plugs, the ways you guys buy in bulk, did it affect it? Has it been limited? Let's start with Eric, over there in the West Coast in LA. You know what I mean? You said before it started, you bought, a lot of those dunks. And then what have you been buying? How's it been affected?
Well, to be honest, I feel like the inventory is more low now because people aren't getting anything. And people are looking for inventory. We're actually not buying much here. We're buying like overseas
Yep.
and shipping it over, and it's still better for us to do that, because I heard that the China market, which was pretty much fueling the Jordan 1 market, size 7.5 through 9.5,
Oh yeah.
they're not buying. Like, their market is dead. Like, it's dead over there. Like, they're not buying shoes right now.
Yeah.
And
People just
because
worry.
I think there's not a lot of social media out there. Like, nothing's really like,
yeah, they're being
and like the US is kind of booming in that sense, like the online, like the markets, because people have like
That stimulus
whatever
check.
it is, like they're just spending money here. And
Believe it or not, it affected us in the beginning, because everybody was, I mean, if you notice, on every app, every sneaker went up $100, $200.
Yep.
Like in seconds.
At least.
So everybody was saying, well, why am I gonna go sell it at a consignment shop where I could just go and cash out on one of these apps, get paid right away? I don't, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You basically didn't have to leave your house. You didn't have to do anything. The only thing that's helped us a lot now is because a lot of the stores I'm in the mall. So a lot of the stores are getting restocks on these shoes on a random day. You know what I mean? Like a couple of days ago, I hit 9 pairs of those Royal Toes in gray school at retail. They called me from Champs. They were like, hey, do you want these 9 pairs? And I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So now, the flow is coming back. The stores are getting a lot of pairs. People are not in the mall because honestly, with everything going around, people don't want to be out if they don't have to be out.
Yeah. So right before COVID, Will saw it in the little warehouse. I went all in, or didn't go all in, but I put a lot of money into grade school Pine ones, and they were going for retail pretty much. I paid $155 on average, and pretty much that first month of COVID, like I couldn't make drop-offs anywhere, so I knew they were gonna go up, but I didn't mean to hold them for that long. But yeah, I hit a nice lick on those, because those are almost $300 now, and
Yep.
I bought around 450 pairs. So I mean,
you guys, just if you had to give one advice to all the resellers watching, anybody trying to make money during this time, just give them one last, piece of advice. So let me start off with you, Hayden.
I would say just be creative and don't follow others when you're reselling. Just because what's hype is cool, like that doesn't necessarily make sense, pun intended.
I think right now, man, the only good advice that you can probably give somebody, man, is just the money's good, but stay safe, and don't think just because you can make $100 by setting a line somewhere where you could get sick.
Absolutely,
Don't
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, take care of yourself, and before you're worried about anything else.
Nah, yeah,
amen, man.
Be precautious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be precautious in everything that you do. If that's the piece of advice I'm throwing out, just take precaution and minimize risk. What about you, E?
I always say, like, let go of the pairs that you've lost on already, like $20-$30, man, just let it go. Use the capital for something else, like everybody loses, man. Like I've lost a lot on certain things, but like you gain it back and you learn,
So
absolutely.
Yeah, keep on pushing, guys. Thank you for joining me, man. This is gonna be dope.
Thank you for having us.
Celebrating
Thank you.
my guys from Arizona at Reshoevnator. Shout out to them. They always rocking with us for like 8 years. You guys know them from the events. And they gave us this platform. And it's lit, man. To everybody watching on the live stream, thank you for hanging in there, watching. And hopefully you guys learned something. Peace out, fellas.
Peace.
Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
So thanks to those guys for sharing their insight and their experiences throughout this tough time. Obviously, there's been negatives, there's been struggles, there's been, changes, but they've maneuvered and they've remained flexible and they've experienced success and growth throughout this tough time. So I hope that you guys take that discussion and anchor yourselves and be motivated and inspired by these guys in a way that you can apply it to your work, your careers, your education, your grind, your hustle, whatever it is. Just stay positive, stay productive, and most importantly, stay safe throughout this time. And without further ado, Reshoevnator, who's the winner?